Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the AFC Championship game preview, which is going to be the New England Patriots going up against the Denver Broncos, otherwise known as Brady versus Manning. I don't know how many times these guys have matched up in the playoffs or even in the regular season, but every time Brady and Manning have gone head to head, it's always been the battle of the Titans, Clash of the Titans, maybe I guess you can say. This is going to be a big game for both teams. Definitely, Denver is known for having a good offense, but I think a lot of people know that they are led by an awesome defense, and they have one of the toughest challenges of their season, and that is the New England Patriots. I think that there's only, a few places that are kryptonite to Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Everybody knows that New England has never really gone to Miami and played a good game down there. Yeah, they've gotten wins, but they've never really came down looking pretty. And I even think that a few times they went down there with a perfect record. Miami was a team that would upset them even when Miami didn't really have the best team. It's just they just never have really played there. And Denver is another piece of kryptonite to Tom Brady. He's never had his best games traveling into Denver, and I don't know if it's the mile-high atmosphere or what it really is. It's always been one of those things that he's had to overcome. Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, I think that definitely is in my top 5 quarterbacks that I've always loved. And Steve Young and Joe Montana, being a San Francisco 49er fan, are two guys that are always in there. And it's hard to put anybody over those. And I know that Brady, I think he's got 4 Super Bowl rings. I think he's been to 2 others that he lost because he didn't beat the Giants. Peyton Manning only has 1. And there's always going to be that argument, or whether over Super Bowl rings, really mean that you were the best. But, I mean, you look at a guy like Dan Marino, who only went to 1 Super Bowl, losing that one to Joe Montana. How are you going to say that he's not a great one? I don't know. I've always tried to wonder, what would Tom Brady be if he played on the Chiefs or he played on the Vikings? Would he still be a good quarterback, or would he be a great quarterback that was the piece of the puzzle? I've always thought that maybe Belichick was the big piece of the puzzle to New England, and that's the reason why they've always gone on. We saw the one year that Brady went down. They didn't, get a big... I don't even think they went to the playoffs that year, but he was able to show that another quarterback could look good, and he ended up going to Kansas City and making a good deal of money there, even though he wasn't that great of a quarterback. And I think he was back in the league this year, being the quarterback for the Vikings at the end of the season, but I'm not 100% sure. But this is going to be a huge game. I know that when Peyton Manning, he went down with injury, I thought that maybe Denver was trying to cover up, that they were just going with a different quarterback. They went with Brock Osweiler, and the whole thing looked a little fishy. And I said at the time, how are you going to take the ball out of Peyton Manning's hands? I think that at the time they were 8-2. They might have been 9-1. And I just said, I think this is kind of weird that you don't want Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks that's ever played in the game, even if he is leading the league with 17 interceptions, even if you don't think that he's still got it anymore, why you would want to go in a different direction. But Peyton was able to answer the call, and he went back into the game. And he played in the playoff game last week. He had 21 completions. He honestly had 6 balls that, if you look at those, that were dropped by wide receivers that were really clean, open passes. So, I mean, you add those 6 to the 21, 27 receptions. That's going to put some points on the board. And when this, defense that Denver has, they're not going to let New England run this score up like bananas. This is going to be a close, tight game. Peyton Manning gets some offense going, can get the ball running with Hillman in the backfield. I really think that Denver has a chance to win this game and go on to another Super Bowl. I think that a lot of people are going to be rooting for Peyton Manning to get this done. Hopefully see if he can win that second Super Bowl and this be his send-off from the NFL. Some people thought after getting his ass kicked by Seattle last year in the Super Bowl, no, that would be the year before. Yeah. That would be it, where he just hung it up and said goodbye, but we'll have to see. I think New England's got this game, though.